The strangest thing about entry-level jobs today is that some of them still say entry-level, but the expectations no longer feel entry-level. A beginner role may ask for AI skills, communication skills, independent judgment, business understanding, cross-functional collaboration, and the ability to check your own work before anyone else sees it. The title says first step. The job description feels like it already expects you to know how the whole staircase works. This is why the debate about AI and junior jobs often feels too simple. The question is not only, will AI replace entry-level workers? A more useful question is, what happens when AI changes the work that made someone entry-level in the first place? Because for many people, the first job was never just about output. It was where you learned how work actually works. You learned by doing the small tasks. You drafted the first version. You cleaned the spreadsheet. You summarized the meeting. You fixed the formatting. You answered basic support questions. You prepared notes for someone more experienced. These tasks were not glamorous, but they gave beginners repetition. They created a safe zone where you could be corrected, improve, and slowly develop judgment. AI puts pressure on that model because many of those beginner tasks are exactly the tasks AI can now accelerate. Drafting, summarizing, searching, rewriting, formatting, coding small pieces, creating first-pass analysis, these were once the training ground. Now they can be done faster, or at least started faster by tools. That does not automatically remove the worker, but it does change what the worker is expected to bring. This is the hidden shift. When the easy output gets cheaper, the value moves toward the harder parts around the output. Did you understand the context? Did you check the result? Did you notice what the tool missed? Did you know when the answer was risky? Could you explain why one option was better than another? Could you communicate the trade-off to a manager, a client, or a team? That is why an entry-level worker may feel like they are being asked to perform above their level. The company may still have junior roles, but the role may contain less protected practice and more responsibility earlier. The first draft is easier to create. The first good decision is not. PwC's 2026 AI Jobs Barometer points in this direction. It found that AI-exposed junior roles are increasingly asking for skills that used to sound more senior, like leadership, strategic thinking, and judgment. That does not mean every beginner needs to behave like an executive, but it does suggest that the bar is moving. Employers are not only asking, can this person complete a task? They are asking, can this person operate in a workplace where AI has already changed the task? The World Economic Forum makes a similar point about entry-level work. The concern is not just that AI may automate some early career tasks. The concern is that organizations may have to reinvent how people enter, learn, and advance. If the old beginner work disappears or becomes compressed, then the learning path cannot stay the same. Think about a new analyst. In the past, they might spend months preparing basic research, cleaning numbers, making first drafts, and learning how senior people reviewed their work. Now, AI can help create the first draft quickly. That sounds like a productivity gain. But if the junior analyst never learns why the first draft is wrong, which assumption matters, or how a manager thinks through risk, then speed has created a new problem. Or think about a new marketer. AI can generate campaign ideas, social posts, headlines, and customer research summaries. But the harder part is knowing what fits the brand, what might sound tone-deaf, what customers actually care about, and what metric matters after the content is published. The beginner may produce more, but the promotion signal may be less about volume and more about taste, judgment, and learning from feedback. Or think about a new software developer. AI can help write code, explain errors, and generate tests, but someone still has to understand the system, catch security issues, think about maintainability, and know when the generated answer is confidently wrong. The risk is not that juniors cannot use AI. The risk is that companies may expect juniors to move faster before they have enough experience to know what fast work can break. This creates a strange tension for employers, too. On paper, AI looks like a way to reduce low-level work. But low-level work was also how people became high-level workers. If a company removes too much of the junior layer, it may save time now and damage its future talent pipeline. Senior workers do not appear from nowhere. They are built through exposure, correction, and responsibility over time. So the entry-level problem is not only a worker problem, it is a design problem. Companies have to decide whether they are using AI to eliminate training tasks or to redesign training around new tools. There is a big difference between saying AI can do the first draft so we do not need juniors, and saying AI can do the first draft so juniors should learn how to review, improve, and defend it.
The second version is healthier. It still gives beginners a path. It treats AI as part of apprenticeship instead of a replacement for apprenticeship. A junior worker might compare AI-generated options, find errors, document decisions, ask better questions, and learn why the final version changed. That is still entry-level learning. It is just a different kind of entry-level learning.
But many job seekers are experiencing the messier version. They see postings that ask for 1 or 2 years of experience for beginner roles. They see entry-level jobs that expect tool fluency, business judgment, communication, and independence. They see companies wanting proof before giving someone a chance to build proof. AI did not create all of this by itself, but it can intensify it.
The resume signal is changing too. Saying, "I know AI tools" may help, but it is not enough. A stronger signal is showing how you used AI responsibly. What did you ask it to do? What did you verify? What did you reject? What did you improve? What did you learn from the result? In an AI-assisted workplace, the output is only part of the story. The process behind the output becomes more important.
This is especially important for early career workers because they may not have a long track record yet. If you cannot show years of experience, you may need to show evidence of judgment in smaller ways. A portfolio project with notes, a case study that explains your decisions, a before and after example, a small workflow you built, a mistake you caught, or a clear explanation of how you used AI without outsourcing your thinking.
That does not mean beginners should pretend to be experts.
In fact, pretending is dangerous. The better signal is not fake confidence. It is disciplined learning. It is the ability to say, here is what I tried. Here is what I checked. Here is what I did not know yet. Here is how I improved the result. That kind of transparency can be more valuable than a polished AI-generated answer with no reasoning behind it. There is also an important counterpoint. This does not mean every junior job is disappearing, or that early career workers are doomed. Some companies still need people at the beginning of the career ladder. Some managers understand that talent has to be trained. Some AI tools may even help beginners learn faster when they are used with good coaching. The future is not one single outcome, but the pressure is real. If AI makes basic production easier, then the beginner's challenge changes. The old challenge was proving you could do the task. The new challenge may be proving you can learn from the task, improve the task, and understand the consequences of the task. That is a higher bar, especially for people who are still trying to get their first real chance. For managers, the lesson is uncomfortable. If you want strong senior workers later,
You cannot remove every junior learning opportunity now. You need to create new training loops. AI-assisted drafting, human review, explanation, feedback, and gradually increasing responsibility. You need to make the invisible parts of judgment teachable. Otherwise, AI may make the team faster in the short term while weakening the pipeline that creates future capability.
For workers, the lesson is more practical. Do not build your career signal only around speed. Speed is becoming easier to imitate. Build your signal around judgment. Show that you can use AI, but also show that you can question it. Show that you can produce output, but also explain the choices behind it. Show that you can learn in public, improve with feedback, and take responsibility for the final result.
That may become the new entry-level advantage. Not being the person who types the best prompt, not being the person who produces the most documents, but being the person who can turn easy output into trusted work.
So when people say AI is killing the junior job, the more precise version may be this: AI is changing what the junior job is for. If companies handle that badly, the first rung becomes harder to reach. If workers ignore the shift, they may keep optimizing for tasks that are losing value. But if both sides adapt, entry-level work can still exist. It just has to become more intentional.
The bar moved. The title may still say entry-level, but the real test is becoming different. In a workplace where AI can create the first version, the human advantage is not just doing more. It is understanding what the work means, what can go wrong, and why the final answer deserves to be trusted.